tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Blender VSE on Linux for the best H.264 export for platforms such as YouTube, Rumble, Odysee, and what's the other one? Rumble, Odysee, YouTube. YouTube. Okay, so as you know, I have done several tutorials on trying to find a video editor which works on Linux and uses the GPU because I have the AMD Instinct MI60 GPU. It has 32 gigs of HBM2 memory, so I was hoping to use that to make my renders much faster. However, what I found out is that although all the editors I've mentioned, they do use FFmpeg, which does support obviously the GPU rendering. The problem is they still use the CPU, and worse than using the CPU, most of the stuff they do is single-threaded. So it's going to be very, very slow. So it's not even maxing out the CPU. Now, luckily, all of them, including Blender, they do use the H.264, which is the one from what do you call it? The CPU version or software version. That's lib H.264, and that one is at least multi-threaded. So if you have more threads, more CPU cores and threads, you can render a little bit faster, but it's still very slow. So I'll show you. And worse than that is the output files were very, very large. Because I do live streaming, so what happens is sometimes, like before, from OBS, the file size would be close to gig for just about an hour. So then when I obviously put it into Blender, I edit it, and then it will also be about 2 gigs. The final, that's just an hour. So there's one time I did one which was close to 4 hours. My goodness, that one could probably have been 8 gigs or more, and then uploading that's going to take time as well. And as if you know, during the afternoons, I try to finish the live stream as soon as possible because I want to go outside and look after the chickens. I have to take care of some weeds, and obviously I'm finishing up the shed. So I've been stuck on the shed for a while because I finished putting up the wrap, but I'm putting up covering. Like I ran out of vinyl, so I remembered the old, no, not old actually, the metal building. So I tore that down, and I'm using that to finish all the covering around the shed. It's an 8x8 shed, so it's not very big. Okay, so and also the other reason I've explained in the past why I use Blender as my video editor on Linux is because even way back before, not this current workstation or the previous workstation, but way before I got even a workstation, I had a very low spec, I think it was like a dual core Intel, it was G something, it wasn't even one of the the I type series, and it was slow, and I think it only had 1 or 2 gig. It was one of those, if you remember way back then, it was one of those desktop CPUs where the memory, the CPU, were all sorted onto the motherboard, so you could never upgrade it. So when I had that system, I think it only came with 1 gig of RAM, if I remember correctly. What happened was when when I was trying to edit videos, they would always crash. Obviously back then the Linux stuff was still in infancy, the video editors. So the funny thing is there were 2 that I was actually able to use. One of them was OpenShot. OpenShot sometimes would crash, but I would just re-render again and then it would finish. It would not crash during rendering, it would crash when I'm editing. And the other one, which I found later on, was actually Blender. Blender never crashed. So then when I got the workstation, that's Intel 2600 with 8 gig of RAM, I was using the integrated graphics. That one I thought, oh my goodness, now I can use different video editors. Same thing, they'll crash all of them. So I said, and I thought OpenShot would be better. Now, to be fair, OpenShot has gotten better over time, but I'm saying this was back then. So they decided to go a different direction, so it was a little bit buggy back then. So what I decided to do is I just said I want to stick to Blender, so I stuck with Blender, and I've been with Blender since. And now from time to time I do try out whether it's KDN Live, other types, and I just always have issues with them, even though all of them claim, oh, we can render using the GPU, but usually they can't, because what I found out is the majority of stuff is still done, all the grunt work is still done by the CPU. So the only way you'll be able to render with the GPU is if somebody takes the time to convert a lot of those filters into, to make it work on the GPU, and also to take some of the grunt work from the CPU and put it out to the GPU. So I guess that's ongoing. So they're not there yet. Now, some people have been suggested that I should try DaVinci Resolve. So you guys saw I did try DaVinci Resolve, and that one was oh my goodness, it was unbelievably slow. Now, so I watched some videos and people were saying, oh, just wait for it to do the proxy. Now, remember, you guys saw me, I was editing a 1 minute video. You heard me right, 60-second video I was editing, and it was that slow. It didn't even finish proxying. I just gave up. I'm like, if it's gonna take 3 minutes to proxy a 1 minute video, imagine if I'm trying to edit something like 2 to 3 hours. So I just left that one. So I'll stick to Blender. So then I was thinking, hey, I'm a programmer. Obviously, I haven't contributed code to Blender yet, but I was thinking, it's a video editor. It uses FFmpeg under the hood. Is there a way I could speed this up? So I found 2 ways to speed up your exports, and I'll show you. I'll show you all of that today in today's tutorial. Okay, so by the way, I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Odysee, I'm live on Rumble and BitChute. So I'm gonna quickly check the chat here before we get started. I'm going to have to refresh. I don't know why you always have to refresh all the others. So yeah, there's, okay, so the Odysee is fine. Let's check out, what do you call this one? Rumble is fine as well. Okay, I don't want to play it. Okay, I don't want to play that one. And the last one is BitChute. I guess I have to refresh as well. And hit play button. Yeah, okay, there we go. So you guys heard that for a second. So BitChute is fine as well. Okay, and obviously YouTube is also okay. Okay, so I didn't make an article for this. So the reason I decided to do this because I did something with Blender today. So I created an animated candle using the Blender Python API. So if you don't know, with Blender, you can use code in Python to for example, to render or to model. You can also do stuff with the video sequence editor. I'll show you that in a second after I finish this. So meaning that you can control everything about most of the things about Blender which are in the API. So as I said before, you can model 3D objects, you can use the grease pencil, you can also do things with the video sequence editor. So I'll show you that. So if you go to search here, you just type VSE, something should come up. I do have some examples. Yes, here we go. See, you can extract the Blender VSE markers using Python. So I think what I'm going to do is, and then here you see you can generate a VSE video strip using the Python script. So what I'm going to do is, I think and here I said I did create some Blender VSE stuff, as you can see here, Blender VSE text strip using the Python script and transparent video in Blender VSE. So what I'm going to do is, I think these two, which one is the, okay, I'll use this one here, the extracting Blender VSE markers. This is the one I'll use as it's the most, what do you call it? It's the one that's closest to what we're doing today, because we're actually going to use the VSE markers. We're going to extract them using Python, and I'll show you why we do that, just so we can also speed up video editing. So for example, before when I had like 2-3 hour live stream and I was trying to edit that one, it's going to take probably about an hour to create 2 videos out of that one, because I make a short version and then obviously I make the the long version as well. So this trick is going to speed up your your workflow very, very fast. I mean, if you do things like I do, if you do multiple edits, then it won't work. For me, usually I notice that what I do in videos, I put something in the beginning, probably within a minute in the beginning, and then at the end, somewhere between 2 to 3 minutes before the end. That's usually where I add things. Rarely do I need to cut or other things, but that's usually what I do. So then I realized, hey, why don't I just render out, say, the first minute and then the last 3 minutes? And then I can use FFmpeg to get the original video, and I'll call that the middle, and then I'll just extract that and then put them all together. So I don't even need to use the GPU because I'm not changing the codec or the audio codec. The video codec and audio codec is the same, so that's much faster. So you can write your own scripts for this. So, but I'm going to do it more in a manual way, so that you guys can learn how to speed up your workflow for Blender. All right. So with that, I'm going to start up Blender. And for the folks on the vertical screens, don't worry, I got you here. So this is Blender. You can see I'm using 4.5.3 LTS. I decided to go back to the Blender version from Fedora repos instead of the one from Flatpak, because the one from Flatpak, it's a real pain in the you know what, because I do a lot of command line stuff and I like to do relative paths, so it's very hard. I created some aliases, but it's still such a pain because I don't want to use absolute paths. So it was a pain, so I decided to go back to the one in the Fedora repos. I'm hoping some of the bugs that had a fix. Looks like most of them are. Some annoyances as well, so that's great. So oh, you know what, let me start Blender again. So there's a couple way where you can start editing. So if you start Blender again from scratch, I'll show you this. You see this welcome screen. So you see it says this welcome screen is not just to be pretty here. If you actually look at it, it actually says, you can see my recent files. You can see I've been editing videos. But you see here, on the first column, it says new file, general, 2D animation, sculpting, VFX, and it says video editing. So so instead of going to the video editing workspace, you can simply just click video editing right here. So click here, video editing, boom, it takes you to the video editing workspace. So what it has some file manager here. By default, at least for me, it goes to my home folder. And then this is the preview. And then down here is your not your timeline, the channels where you can put a whole bunch of things, whether it's images, videos. We'll show you that later. And then on the top, the third column here, this is where you set your settings. By default, it's set to 1080p, 1920 by 1080, 100%. Before, in the past, it used to be 50%, which is annoying. So you never need to change that. And the default frame rate is set to 24. So you don't need to change this. When you drag in, you can drag and drop, or if you just open, you go to File, Open. Sorry, not File, Open. You go to Add. You see Movie. It will automatically, see it says 24 frames per second. This will change depending on the first movie strip that you add. So for example, just to prove it to you here, I think I do have, which one did I do today? So there's a bunch of stuff I did today. I can't remember which one is the first one. So I might need to change this to see the time. Does it show the time here? Yeah, here we go. So I'm guessing this is the time. What time is it right now? So I'm confused. Why is this? Oh, Oh, am I looking? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was looking here. I was looking at minutes and seconds. It didn't make sense. What I should actually look is here. Yeah. So this is it. So you see this one. I recorded earlier today. Yeah, this was the. It was that Blender, the candle, animated candle. So I'm gonna drag that one into here. So you see, when I put my mouse over, it tells me it's at 30 frames per second FPS. So remember here it's 24 frames per second. So when I drag this, put it anywhere. I usually like to put it the channel 1. You can put any channel you want. So you see what happened? It changed to it detected that this was 30 frames per second, so it automatically changed this to 30 frames per second. And by default, snapping is enabled. So if I grab this again, I press G to grab, you see that? It snapped. You see that? It snaps right to it. You can also just use the, you can type 1 and then it will also go to the first frame 1. And you see one thing I like about this, it separates them, meaning that the audio is set to channel 1 and the video is set to channel 2. So this makes it really easy visually to visualize what's going on. So clearly, like for example, right here, up to about 2 seconds or so, 3 seconds, there's no sound. So that's because I was waiting for something. So I can obviously delete that part, right? So because you have the audio separate from the video, I like that. Some people, like some editors I use, they combine them, and then they put a little wave. The wavelength was in here, which is hard to see. I prefer this. So for example, you see you can scrub. You see the preview here is changing by me scrubbing, and then you can press the space bar, or you can just press, if you just use the mouse, you can just press the play here. Okay. Yeah, so from here to here is just the word okay, because I was waiting again for I think Odysee to come online so I could start the live stream. So now I've checked out that even though it's still processing or whatever, it's compiling or whatever it is, the live stream is still being sent. So what I'll do in the future is I won't wait. I'll just start right away. So because I don't want to go and have to cut this out from the live stream. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you, and obviously by default as well, you can see the wavelength for the audio, and then you can see the thumbnails for the video. So this shows you where, if you want to cut in a specific place, you can do that as well. Now for the strip itself, so right now it's still combined. So if you just click one of the strips, for example, if I click the top one here, you see it's a different color, it's all white, and that one, the compositing, you have options like replace, cross, multiply, overlay, alpha over. There's nothing below that, so that's fine. And then we go to transform. If you want to crop it, you can use the transform tools here. There's some extensions you can also get, or plugins, which might make where you can actually edit or to do the transformations right in the preview here. I prefer that. If you want to be very specific, obviously you can just type in the numbers here. I do like both options. Okay, so as you can see here, you can do rotation from the origin, and you can do mirror X and Y. So there are a bunch of options here. Before you had to add like a transform strip, and that was fine. But I remember one day I was trying to do a resize, and the transform script didn't work. And then I was searching, and you don't need to do that anymore. But I wish they had mentioned it somewhere. And I said here's a crop. Of course, you no longer need to do a transform. I think in version 5, or maybe even I think in version 5 they actually, do they still have the transform strip, by the way? They actually removed it. I think they actually removed it. Yeah, so they did remove it. There used to be a strip here in one of the effects. You would go and then you'd add a transform strip in order to do stuff. So the thinking behind that was that if you just remove the transform layer or strip, your video goes back to the way it was. But I mean, the reason you cut and did all that is because you really want, you want to do that. So yeah, I'm glad they did remove it, because you can see things here which are, and then yeah, you could still do things here as well, which made it even more confusing, because these are the things you would apply to the transform layer. So it was very confusing. Glad they got rid of that. And of course, there's also video here, the strobe and reverse frames if you want to do that. And then you have color, saturation, multiply alpha and convert to float. And then there's a time. So this one, you see here, this is what I use when I need to resize. Show retiming keys. You just click on that, then you can drag. There's a specific one, I think it might show up here. Let me see. Yeah, you see this little guy here? That's the retiming. So that means if you want to speed up or slow down a video, that's where you can drag. So for example, I drag from the end, I pull in, that's going to be much faster. So that is so much better, because before they had something like speed control, but then the length would stay the same, which I was thinking, why? If I speed up, it should go fast, it should get smaller. So that was also confusing. I'm glad they got rid of that. So you have that one, and then the channel. So for example, instead of dragging here, I can simply use see the arrows here. I can just type in a number, see there, and I can move it to a different channel. And then it tells me where it starts. You see it starts on frame 1, and where it ends on frames, as you can see here, 65217, roughly about 36 minutes, 13 seconds and 27 milliseconds. And that's where it ends, of course. Obviously, because remember, it starts at 1, not at 0, so you need to add 1. That's the actual end there. And you have the offsets, you have the hold offset, and then you have the current frame. That's where the cursor is right now. You see it says 112, but then down here it's at 113. And I say that's because of the 0 and 1. I don't know why they don't. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Yeah. So that's a little bit confusing. I don't know if that's a bug, or they should probably fix that. And then of course you see by default it's set to 250 frames. So I think they used to have, maybe they removed that feature. It must have been buggy, because when you first drag in a video, the end frame here would change to the length of the video. So I'm guessing they removed that. It must have been buggy. I never really used that feature because I always needed to add things. Like before I was using images, so I would add an image, so meaning that the video would be obviously a bit longer because I'm adding an image. Or for example, these days most people are probably going to add an intro, and then they're going to probably add an outro. So putting a number here doesn't make sense. So that's fine. I don't mind that. And then we have source. That's the full path to where the file is. The color space, you have SGB. You can see all the other different color spaces. I'm okay with RGB. And then you have the stream index, the interlace. I don't use any of those. And if you want to make custom properties, you can add them here as well. So custom properties are things you can add, and then when you, so for example, if you export or use Python, you'll be able to utilize them. Okay, so I am going to, what should I do here? Oh, and to add a marker, you see markers are here. I'll show you markers in another, I think I do. Do I have markers? I'll show you. Yeah, so to add markers, it's very easy. I'm not going to do it for this video. I'll do it for a short video because I don't want to render forever. So I'll do a short video and I'll show you that. Basically, just put the wherever the playhead is, and you can type M, or you can just you click on the marker here, and you see you can then add marker. You see the shortcut is M, at least on Linux. So just M, for example, I click M there, and you see it added a marker here. So all you do is you click on the little triangle icon, and then you can change the name. For example, this one I'll just say start. Okay, so this might be useful if you're doing collaboration, but for me, I'm actually going to use them internally. What I was hoping for was in OBS, I wanted to be able to use I'm using hybrid MP4, so that way I can create markers there, and then I was hoping they would be imported into Blender. Now I could use Python, and Python could then add the markers to the blend file. So I'm working on that, and when I'm done, I'll let you guys know. Oh, I forgot one very important thing. So normally, because to save space, what I did was I'll show you my OBS. Can I just drag? Okay, I can't. So here's OBS. If you see my stream settings, you see I'm obviously streaming to my scripts, because I'm multi-streaming right now. So if we go to I think it's output, output here, streaming, you can see I'm using the AAC, I'm using FFmpeg. You see it says VAAPI H.264, and then I am I'm not rescaling the output. It's just 1920 by 1080, and you can see it's using the integrated graphics. I do have two of them. You see this one here is the is the Instinct. You see it's 32 gigs. So I'm using the integrated one there. The profile set to high, level set to auto, rate control CBR, that's constant bitrate. Bitrate is set to 2500 kbs. The reason I set it low is because I wanted a small file, because before I had setting the same as streaming. So I can probably increase this, and but so far I think the video code is fine, so I'm just going to leave it 25. I can increase this to that one, and then if you want some FFmpeg optionals, you can put that here, because OBS also uses under the hood also uses FFmpeg. So for recording, obviously see here the default is the home folder for me, and again you see I'm recording as a hybrid MP4. This is so that I can use markers. And I can click the options, and you see this one I'm using H.265. You see it's also a VAAPI. The reason I'm doing that because the file is smaller, and Blender can handle it. As for example, that file as I showed you there, it's also an H.265 and AAC, and then I see the difference is the encoder here. I'm using the Instinct, AMD Instinct to do the recording. If you can hear, I'm just using the default span, which is about 2% of the speed. So it's barely even. It doesn't even make it's not even using the GPU that much. So I don't bother using the fan control or anything like that. I set it to the main profile, set it to auto. The rate control I set it to CQP, and the QP I set it to 20, and the keyframe interval I set it to 0 seconds, and there's no FFmpeg options. So when I did this, I noticed that the file size got smaller, especially for very large files, and that is really very large recordings. So that gives me. That makes me feel good, because that means that if I do like 4K for 1 hour, I'm not gonna be using 100 gigs or something. So it's gonna be more easier to contain. Okay, so with that, audio, I've already explained that. You see the audio bitrate. And so that's it. So that's OBS. Put it back here. Now I'm going to show you. So let's talk about. I think I might have to. I want to drag this up a little bit. Where is it? I know I can drag it. Where is the thing to drag? Okay, there we go. I want to show you this for the settings. I already talked about this. So you can change the frame end here, or you can change it here. So for example, if you remember this strip, what I usually do is I go to the time. Let's say I'm done editing. I'm not. You see here it says the end frame is 65218. So you can type it here, or you can type it here. So I'm going to type it here. That's what I usually do. 65218, and I press enter, and you can see now it's here, and it also did it up here as well. And then for the output, I usually leave it. I do save the blend file. Then I just, if you put // it's going to save it relative to where the blend file is. So that's what I usually do. And I'll show you an actual blend file that I do use. I'll show you that in a second. And then I didn't choose this. I'm guessing because I chose video editing, new on the video. So you see file format. There's a whole bunch of stuff. If you search online, they'll tell you, oh, it's faster to render it out as as an image. That is crazy. You know why? Because yes, it's true. If your computer crashes or something, you're gonna be crying. So that's true. But I'm saying that I'm not gonna render out images for over an hour and then re-render them. That's just crazy. I'll just go to the video. I'll take my chances. Now you see here you have two options. You can make it black and white or RGB. So I chose RGB. If you enable transparency, you will get RGBA here. What I mean by that is, for example, if I pick PNG. If I pick PNG, you see there's an RGBA here as well. Now that's obviously an image, not a video. But there are videos, as you guys saw when I did a search on ojambo.com. I did create a transparent video. I think that the only one that supports it is WebM VP9. VP9, yes. So the color management, this one it says follow scene. I don't touch any of this. I just go to encoding, and so MPEG 4. By default, OBS uses Matroska. So you can also do WebM, Matroska. Those are all supported by YouTube. But for Odysee only likes MP4. So that's the one we use. I haven't. Way in the past I tried the OGG format, tried QuickTime, and that's. I've tried everyone, but it's really slow. It's fantastic for compressing, but it's really slow. So that one will probably be in the future when when 4K becomes more popular, and obviously when I replace this GPU with one that has a built-in encoder. Funny enough, the AMD Instinct has actually a decoder for AV1. Can you believe that? I'll show you guys later. Yeah, it's funny. It has a decoder for it. We should have a decoder. That would be awesome. So then, as you can see, the video codecs H.264. This is when I just typed the video editing. So H.264, of course, you can change it. So as I said, remember, I also got my FFmpeg from RPM Fusion, because the one in the Fedora repos only has H.264. So you see here, there's no video. There's AV1, there's H.264, there's H.264, which is also called HEVC. I think that stands for efficiency, the E, and again WebM VP9, and then the rest here. So yeah, you can decide. I've tested all of these ones here, and I can tell you they're super slow, no matter how fast your machine is. Okay, and then I usually use medium quality. Sorry, the color depth I leave it at 8. The quality there's 10, I think. Yeah, there's 10 as well. I think depending on the codecs, you might get more options, but I leave it at 8. 8 is fine for me. And you see quality, you have constant. This is for H.264. Other codecs will have something different. So you have constant bitrate, you have lossless, you have perceptually lossless, high quality, medium quality, low quality, very low quality, and lowest quality. So clearly, if you go lower the quality, the file size will get smaller and smaller and smaller. What I found is that medium quality is a good balance between the quality and the compression. So that's why I leave it at that. And then encoding speed, here you see you have good, slowest, and real time. So I leave it at real time. And the keyframe interval, this one confused me, but this is the same thing as GOP, which means a group of pictures. So if you know the completely outdated YouTube, they'll tell you to put a value in here. But I experimented, and I found that the value that I used worked out extremely well. So if you don't know what value that I do use, I'll show you in when I have my actual template. And then the max B frames here, this again only has to do with H.264. For example, if you pick a different codecs, for example this one FFmpeg, oh, that one has can I enable it? Oh, I can. So as you can see, that one has 12. You see the color depth change here. I said it depends on what you pick. For example, if I pick WebM, you see it doesn't have any color depths, right? So like I said, it depends on the codec that you use. What's another codec that's popular? AV1, 8, 10, 12. You see some of the other options are not here as well. So yeah, so it depends on the codec, the video codec that you use. For audio codec, they do have some here. Again, Mastroska and WebM supports Vobis and what's the other? Opus. So it supports both of those. Very good. But AAC is pretty much the one that for example Odysee requires. So unfortunately I have to use that. I always leave this at stereo, and the sample rate I use the default, which is 4800. And the bitrate here, I just drop it down to 192, and the volume obviously is 1. So I don't touch the metadata, and I don't touch the post processing. I don't touch that at all. Okay, I don't touch that at all. Okay, so those are the settings to get a smaller file size. Now, and showed you how you can also drag and drop. Let me actually show you here. Let me see if I have where is that video? Okay, well, I have some images, so here we go. So you can see here, I'll make this smaller just to show you that you can drag and drop. So for example, this ebook cover, you can just simply drag and drop. Oop. Should be able to drag and drop. I don't know why it's not working. There we go. See, you can drag and drop there. And the video, you can also drag and drop videos. So for example, this, see there's a video for that as well. Now let's fool around with some effects. Let me get rid of this guy here. You can fool around with some effects. Where are you? Can't resize this. Okay. Okay, I'll resize it. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll resize just a little bit. Okay, so this one, for example, you can add, you can add a bunch of strips, like you can add adjustment layer, some effect strips. Oh yeah, okay. In effect strip, the transform is still there, but this has been removed in the other. You see, you can add flash and blur, speed control is still there, and multicam selector. You can add text. Yeah, I've done this so many times, you guys know what's going on. So here you see by default it's alpha offer, but if you change it to something like difference, oops, I chose the wrong one. Okay, yeah, I chose the wrong one. So let's undo that. What is wrong here? Control Z. Why is it still okay? Oh, it was alpha over. Just remember the alpha over. Okay, so the one I wanted was this guy here. Yeah. So let me select it. Make sure you select it. You see it's highlighted. So what you can do is things like you can do a cross. You can do what is the other one? You can do overlay. You can do a highlight. you can do, yeah, so you get it, right? So subtract, exclusion, alpha under, grammar cost. Yeah, so the default again is alpha over, so you go back to alpha over, and then of course you can also do keyframes. You just you can do the auto keyframes. So yeah, I'm saying there's so much stuff you can do. Okay, so let me open up I'll open up what do you call it? Oh no, oh yeah, you can also, yeah, already I dragged an image there. So you can also to render, you just simply go render. You can render an image or you can render the animation. But I do this all in the command line because it's faster without without the GUI. So you can, let me open up one of my recent templates. I'm going to open up this one here. I hope the video is there. I didn't delete it. I don't want to save. Yeah, the video is here. Perfect. And the audio. So this one is the one that I edited earlier today. I'll show you everything I did here. So where is the cursor? Oops, not like that. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's good. Now, oops. That's not what I want. Okay, there we go. That's actually pretty big. So you can see that I'm using multiple channels here. We have this channel number 5. So this one is just a text strip. I just put candle flicker Python scripting, and above that is another strip of jumbo.com. You can see the colors. You can put an outline, shadow box, you know, the usual stuff. The text strip is getting much better than it was in the past. So you can pick the colors, you know, you can change the size, you can change the font. If you want to do some compositing, again, now for over opacity, you go to transforms, the same thing, just a regular strip. And then you can see this one here, it's 65218. It was a shorter video, which thank goodness. And then what is it here? I'll show you the settings. And you can see it's MP4, H.264, 8, medium quad, real time. You see the keyframe interval I set to 120, the B frames I set it to 6. So I said I did 4 along with this, and what I did, I dropped down the bitrate for the audio to 192. So that's how I was able to edit the to get those files. Now, what I'm going to do this particular video here, I'm going to zoom in here and see if you can press the home key to see everything. This is okay. This is perfect. This is what I want. And so here, you see there's no markers. I removed the markers, but I'm going to add a marker. See, right now I'm at number 1. Or you can just press 1. Or, I mean, sorry, these shortcut keys, but we're in frame 1. So that's what I want. So I'm going to add a marker there. So just press M, or again, you can just go to marker and pick it there. So press M, and I'm going to change this one to, I'm going to rename this one. I guess I need to zoom in because it's hard. Oh, I still can't select it. Oh, let me get the cursor out of the way here. It'll be easier to select it. Oh man, I still can't select it. Wow, still can't select it. I don't know. Oh, I think I have to click inside. Maybe that's why. Give me a second. No, I still can't select it. Wow. Oh, that's not what I want. Come on, why can't I select? Wow. What is going on here? Okay, there we go. Just double click it. Okay, so I'm gonna call this one start, and let's call intro. And then you see after I put a little image here to show you subscribe. So after the subscribe, right around here, I'm going to add another one. I'll just type M, double click it, and I'm going to say and underscore intro. Then I'm going to go to the end here, and I put the cursor here, about here. See where it says available on Amazon. That's an animation. All I did was I just keyframed the text. I'll show you that in a second. Sorry, it's not a text. This is mandatory from Amazon, so I just animated it. So, for example, if I click it, let me get rid of. If I click it, you see here. You can see all the keyframes. So you see this. This shows you the keyframes working. You see that? So I basically it comes in from the top, and then I also do a scale where you see it gets smaller. So that's a keyframe. And then I also give a color strip, just a color strip, just black. That's it. So what did I want to do again? Oh yeah. So I'm going to put the cursor just before that starts, somewhere around here. Doesn't have to be accurate. Press M, and then I will change it to, what's the name of this? This is end. Oh no, start outro. I'll say start outro. Okay, then I'll go right to the end. I can use a shortcut key or just drag it with the mouse. Just shift right arrow, and that goes right to the end. So I'm going to add another one there. Just type M down here, and this one will be end outro. And underscore outro. Okay, so then I save this file. So the file has been saved. Then I'm done. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to render out from the start outro to the end outro, and also from this start intro to the end intro. And that middle part, so if, for example, this video is 36 minutes, so it will take me, I can't remember, maybe 10 minutes, or I can't remember, it doesn't matter, 10 minutes to export this. So this one is not so bad. Most of the time I have like something that's way over an hour, like close to 2 hours. So the problem with that one is I don't want to stick around for an hour or whatever, and I see a very few effects. So I said this is for my particular workflow. So what I do is, as I said, I noticed that these videos I usually just start there. I just have the end and beginning. So I was thinking, is there a way I can speed this up? So if I put home, when you type home, it shows you everything in the workspace from the beginning to the end. You can put the cursor here, it doesn't really matter at the beginning. Oh, I forgot to put this guy back. Okay, there we go. Alright, so you guys saw the settings. That's all I do. So then what I do is I can just exit out of here, and that's it. So I'm gonna go to the videos folder. This is the videos folder here. And oh, did I show you the output? Let me open up that blend file again. Sorry about that. I don't know if I showed you the output. Remember I told you I saved the stuff relative. I use a relative path. So you can just open up from here. Recent was this 1080p. So if we go and check out the location, yeah, here it is. You see it / when / that will be relative to where the blend file is. So this is the file. Okay, so I created a Python script. It's called markers segment .py. So I'm going to open this file up. I'm going to use I won't use Guinea. I'm going to open up with the text editor, the GNOME text editor. So here we go. And yeah, I can make it. That's fine. I'm going to zoom in. So again, import Blender Python a module, and then import the system, import JSON. So what you do, this will take in the Blender file, and what it will do is it will open this means it's going to take an argument. Argument is going to be the blend file. So it's gonna open the Blender file, and then what it will do is it will grab the FPS. And then what it's going to do is, remember we set these markers in our in the blend file. So what it's going to do is the intro markers are going to be from this one's here, the start underscore intro and end underscore intro, and then the outro is the start underscore outro and end underscore outro. So this is the naming pattern for this one. Now in the future, this script will probably get a little bit more complex for my use cases. So what I do is I have a method here, a function, which takes in the frame, and then it will divide it by the FPS. So it will convert it to seconds. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this, because FFmpeg is able to render based on the frame, based on frames or seconds. The problem is, if you use the frame, it's going to use the CPU. It doesn't use the GPU. If you use seconds, it can use the GPU. So it's going to be extremely fast. So now the frame is more accurate, but unfortunately, I said when I was testing this, I was like, I'm not going to sit around because I might as well just let Blender finish, the rendering for the entire thing. So then I have here seconds to frames. This will round. What this one does, it will round up the seconds to the near. It will round up or down. So what I found was that if you use the frames as they are, what's going to happen is there will be a freeze. I don't know. It's because of the the half a frame or something which FFmpeg does not understand. So what I decided to do is, because it's 30 frames per second, I don't mind extracting a little bit before or a little bit after, as long as it will be buttery smooth. So that's why I decided to do that. I said this was from testing. I actually just did this yesterday. And then we get the marker. I see the timeline marker, so it's going to get all of them to make sure that they match this one we put up here. So we need two, because remember, I want to render out specific parts of the video. And then after that, we mark it, and then we can print. We print it out. It says marker not found. If there's a problem, we exit. If everything is fine, what we'll do is, you see, we're going to get the start intro, end intro, start outro, and end outro. That will be based on the, remember, our get marker frame here. Now, I could make this more efficient, but I'm saying is, for my particular work flow right now, that's what I do. As I said, there have been a few rare times where I've had to, for example, there's one I did where, what did I forget to do? Oh yeah, I had some private information which I showed in a video, so I had to then black it out and edit the live stream. It wasn't something that would be useful for you guys. It was time sensitive, so it wasn't a big deal, but I didn't want to get in any trouble, so I did that. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like my driving license or something. I can't remember. It was something I showed accidentally, but I said it wouldn't help you anyway. Okay, so the segments, the intro, middle, and outro, we create an object to store them. And then as you see, we get the start seconds, we convert it to frames, or is it sorry, we convert the frame to seconds, and we round. So this will allow us to start a little bit, I said, before or after. So this is important because what I found was, if you have whole numbers, like seconds, it's of like 16.5 or something like that, the what do you call it? You don't get those freeze frames anymore. The freeze frames wasn't even the worst part. It was just the audio. The audio would just like do a skip. It would be like, "Hello, my name is Edward." So that little part didn't feel right, because a freeze frame is just, you know, like a half a millisecond, doesn't really matter. But that one was very, because it's audio, so I didn't want that, so that's why I had to come up with a workaround. That's what I did. So yeah, so as I just round the numbers to the nearest whole number. That's basically what it does. So for example, you guys will see that the frame will actually be, you'll see the frame, it will say frame 100.3, right? So by rounding it, it should be frame 100. And if you notice where I put the cursor to make the marker, I say if it's a little bit after, a little bit before, it's not going to make a difference. Okay, and then after that, in our result, so it's going to output the start frame, end frame, start time, end time, the rounded start time, rounded end time. This is what we're going to use in FFmpeg, and then the rounded start frame and the rounded end frame. And this is what we're going to use for Blender to render out specific parts. Remember, we're going to the intro and outro. And this just prints out the results here, and it indents because it's going to be sorry, indent 4, set to 4. And then there's another, did I use another script? Give me a second here. There's a script, I'm not sure if I had another script which actually renders part of the, or did I just use straight up Blender? Let me see if there's another script here. Oh, there's one called render. I have another script called render. I'll show you that one. Where is it? I should drop to the command line. I do have another one. Oh, I'll talk about this contact list, concat list. Man, I thought I had another one to. Okay, I might have to drop to the command line. I know I have another one. Let me drop to the command line here. I'll grab all the Python scripts. Oops, that's not what I want. Console. Okay, list. One. Let's list all the Python files. Oh, render markers. That's the one. I was looking for render markers. Get this out of here. We don't need that. Where's render markers? Where can I see it? Oh, RS. Okay, here we go. Render markers. Here's another one. I'm going to zoom in here. So what this one does is it will use Blender. It will do all the running for you. It will take the Blender and it will run that script. This one, the what is it? The render. Oh, sorry. This is how you use the script. Blender -b and whatever the file name is, and then -p, capital P for the short form, and the render marker. So it will grab the what do you call it, the start marker and the end marker, and then what you do is you simply just what this one is going to do is it takes two arguments, start marker and end marker, and then what it does is it will then output the frame, the start frame and end frame. That's from our script, and then after that it will save them based on the name we used inside the if you remember, it said video hyphen something there. That's what it actually uses, and append something else on top of it. And you see it's render and animation set to true. So that's what Blender calls when you render a video. It internally is called an animation. So that's it. So I'm going to minimize this and I'll show you how this works and put everything together. Okay, so I'm gonna minimize this. Go back to our go back here. Should I probably put this in a folder? But that's fine. So I'm gonna clean this up. Don't worry, I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see what's going on. Okay, so this where is our file? It's 1080p. I want to show you the file. Where is our file? Oh, 1080p wide blend. This is the file here. So what you need to do is you type Blender -B or -- background. I just like the short form, and then space, the name of the file, your blend file, space -P, or you can type -- you type the entire word Python, and then our file is marker_segments.py. So I press enter. Oops, what happened here? Did I make a mistake? No, I didn't make a mistake. What happened here? It says files, marker segments file. Blend file. What is going on here? File format is not supported in the. Oh, I must have forgotten to do something. Let me see here. No, it's. Oh, yeah, that's one. I think I must have tweaked this. Let me see. Does this take in the file? Oh, this. Okay, so this one takes in the blend file itself. Okay, so oh, let's read the markers here. It says Blender -B Python render markers. Oh, render markers do it for me. Okay, maybe I changed this, so that doesn't make any sense. No. This is correct. That's for the blend. Oh, I thought it outputs. I'm confused. Oh, okay, okay. I was fooling around with this. I made so many changes. Sorry, guys. I tried to make this a little bit better for me. So I think this is what I was making so many changes just to make it a little bit faster. So I think what I need to do here is go to render markers, render. I might be wrong. I was like, start frame marker, make a frame is not found. 199. Yeah, I made so many changes. I can't even remember what I did. But this was working yesterday. What did I do? Oh, does this take in the blend file ecosystem -1? Blend file passed as the last argument. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't make a whole bunch of changes. So let's go back. I think this one, oops. Okay. Yeah, I did make a bunch of changes. So I think that should work. Start intro not found. What? Okay, so let's open up this file and see. Start intro. Oh, I spelled it wrong. You see this here? I spelled it as into. It should be intro. Okay. Let's mark that again. Okay, there we go. I'm going to zoom out so you can see what it did. So you see here, it grabbed. Let me copy this because I want to. I don't make that mistake again. Okay, so this is actually wrong. Should actually be that. Yes. Okay. So as you can see, the intro. Let me zoom out just for the intro here. The intro here. So for the intro, you see it says start frame is 1. That's correct, and the end frame is 156 or 1569. Now you see the problem is the start time is actually 0.33 and then the end time is 523.0. So the end time seems to be perfectly fine. The start time doesn't make any sense. It's 0.333. So this is gonna this is the thing that will cause a freeze frame in FFmpeg. So that's why I rounded it. So when you round it, the start time should be 0, and I said the end time happened to be perfect, so that's 553, that's perfect integer, that's perfectly fine. And then what happens is obviously the start frame and the end frame, they're also okay. So the 0.33 of a second is not going to make a difference. And I said this is perfectly fine because it's starting at 0, so meaning I'm actually going to get a little bit more. That's perfectly fine. So the middle then is going to start at 569 to 52693 the frame. And if you see the start time starts perfectly, 523.0, but you see the problem is with the end time, you see it has .333, right? So again, that's why we rounded it. So this time we rounded, it's going to be a little bit more. So sorry, it clipped it off, so it's going to be a little bit less, which is perfectly fine. And then the rounded frame, as you can see here, it says 5, so it's -1 frame. Again, that's perfectly fine. You saw where I put the timeline. And then here you see the start frame is going to be at 52693, and then the end frame. And again, because you see it says 7564. And then the end time. So both of these are not good. This is going to mess up. It's going to have freeze frames. So we round them up, and then rounded, and then you see this is fine. The end time. Oh, I also tweaked the code that end time doesn't matter because there won't be a freeze frame at the end, so it doesn't matter. The end time doesn't matter. So that's in case you're wondering why this is not rounded down to 21739. That's because the video length might actually be that long. So I just wanted to go to the end. So that's perfectly fine. It's not going to make a difference. I said there won't be a freeze frame at the end. It's not going to be like abruptly cut off and continuing. So that's why it's like that. In case you're wondering. And then the start frame, end frame, yeah, just leave them as is. You see, it just -1, and that works out perfectly with this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to render. I'm going to render the what do you call it? I'm going to render I can't speak. I'm going to render out the intro and the outro. So if you remember our code, this one is render. It takes 2 arguments. It needs the start. It basically needs the start marker and the end marker, or what? In other words, is it needs the frame. All it needs the start, because Blender works in frames. So you need to tell it what frame to start and what frame to end. So that's what these guys are here. So with that said, so what we're here to render that out. You can just use also straight up Blender because you don't really need to tell Blender. What I mean is this render. How can I speak? I'll show you. So basically, you type Blender, you get the name of the file, but in background, run in background. If you don't do that, it's going to open up the UI. You don't need it. So Blender, the name of the file is 1080, 1080p, whatever your blend file will be. And then here you type -s, that means to start, obviously. So where are we going to start? Let's go to the intro here. Our intro is 1. So, but we rounded it. So round 1 will be, sorry, the starting frame will be 1. Oh, 0. So it'll be 0. And then -e for the end frame, and again it is 1569. So you type 1569 and then space -a to render or animate. So you press that, and you see it's going to render 1569. Okay, so before the code on the top gets, I'm gonna go up there and copy that. I'm gonna copy this so that I have a copy of it. Let me zoom out a little bit so it's easier to copy. I need this. Copy that. Okay, I think it should be done now. Yeah, so you see, it has created that one. It should be somewhere here. I think that's the video. Yeah, you see this one? It says yeah, 1569. So it's from 0 to 1569. So this frame usually it starts at frame 1, but this time it starts at frame 0. It doesn't really matter. So this is something. You see, if we can play this. Okay, and you can see it's perfectly working, right? So now we're going to do the same thing for the outro. So for the I just put the up key here. Let me zoom in. So for the start frame is going to be one. Oh no, I don't want to do the middle. You can do the middle if you want, but that doesn't make sense. I want the outro. So outro, the rounded start frame is 52692, and then the end frame is 65218, and then space -a, and this should render everything out for us as well. And the outro I think was about 2-3 minutes. So that's, as you can see, it shows you what's going on here. So remember, it's gonna go, it has about 10,000 to go. No, a little bit more, 12,000 to go. It's 6.5. So I'll let this one. So you don't have to wait for it to finish. So remember, we also need the middle, right? So the middle, remember, it started at start frame was 1569 and went up to 52692. So what I'm going to do while this is running, you can do things in parallel, by the way. So I'm going to open up a new tab here. Okay, I'm going to clean this up as well. And clear. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, this time I'm going to use FFmpeg. So I'm going to use FFmpeg -i, the name of our of the video. So the video was the video I used was, I don't remember, I think it's in my home folder. So it must be the, let's go to the home. Where can I? Okay, here we go. So here's the home folder. So it's one of these videos. Which one is the oldest one? Look at the time, 20. Yeah, this is the one. You see, this was created at 14, so at 2 o'clock. So this is the video. You can see it's 227. So this is the one that was made by OBS, and you can see it's H.265. The video bitrate and what else, 30 frames per second. So this is the video I want. So you see 36 minutes and 13 seconds. So that's the video I want. I'll just use the full path to the video just in the home folder, so it's not a big deal. And 14. So that's the video. Okay, and let's go back to our videos folder here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to FFmpeg here. Yeah, so so after it's -ss, the start second. So the start second we want here, the rounded start second is 17564 space -2 space, and then the ending time. Remember, this one has seconds, so it doesn't really matter. We don't bother to round it out to 1739.333. And then I'm gonna use copy. We need to copy the codec, so it's not gonna do any transcoding. And then I'll just call it middle.mp4. Press enter, and it's done. Why is it empty? Is middle empty here? Where's middle? Oh, why is that empty? Okay, I must have made a mistake somewhere. F2 C copy. -SS. What in the world? Zero streams. Yeah, OBS. Why is it? Don't tell me you're gonna mess around with me, because it's an H.265. Why is it not working? Output file is empty. Nothing was encoded. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that, because it should not do that. But yeah, so that's a command to get the middle part. I don't know why it doesn't want to work today. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why it won't. I do not know why it is not. It does not want to work. Something wrong. Let me zoom out a little bit. Maybe give me what's going on. Video. Zero schemes. I don't want to re-transcode it. Oh, that is weird. Is it because there's no copy for H.265s? Maybe that's the reason. So that command works on the thing we need for H.264. I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't have a H.265, but that's what you would do to get it, and it is pretty fast. So I could do the same thing again with a different video, but it really. You know what? Okay, let's do that. I'll create another. I don't know why it's being a pain in the, you know what. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of these videos which was already done, and because this one's at H.264, so those ones will work. So I'll open up Blender again. Actually, give me let me see if no, that's okay. I made a mistake. It's not 2. It's just T. That's the problem. No, it's the same thing. Oh, that's the duration. So I don't know why it's between 2 specific times. It's 2. Yeah, it's correct. It's supposed to be 2. Okay, maybe I did it. Okay, so maybe I need to. Okay, let me switch this up a little bit. I don't think it makes a difference. SS. It's going to be. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. I just realized something. Do I have to convert it to minutes and seconds? I did this yesterday. Why is it not? Okay, so it looks like I 9 seconds to, yeah, it's 2. I don't know why it's not working. So let me try something else. Just give me a second. I don't want to give up just yet. Okay, so SSS. That's the start seconds, and this is the 2 seconds. Oh, maybe it doesn't like this 333. Let me get rid of that. Maybe that doesn't like that. I'll get rid of that. Maybe I'll just run it up myself. Maybe that'll work. No, it doesn't matter. It's still that's not the problem. Okay, so let's see if I say copy the codec, copy, and hyphen a codec copy. Does that actually work? No, it still says output file is empty, nothing was encoded. Okay, oh, give me a second. I'm gonna rename this file. I'm gonna actually copy it, and I'm gonna call it, paste it in here. Maybe it doesn't like the name. It could be something stupid like that. I'll call this one input. Yes. Is it done? This says nothing. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a hybrid. It's messed it up. But okay. So what I'm going to do is, instead of wasting time here, I'm going to just take the same video because I didn't even edit it, and I'll just put it into Blender instead. So I'll just get this again. I'm going to replace the video. The markers are still there, I believe. Yeah, the markers are still there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that video, which the length should be the same. So where's videos? Videos, here we go. And it was not that one. This the one? I can't remember how many frames. Okay, yeah, this is the one. So this is the video. I'll just add it to the timeline there. And then, as I said before, you can just click here and just type 1. Oops. Okay, this one too. I'll give it a 1. Where's 1 there? Okay, so it's dual, but I believe the length should be the same. Yes, so it's a perfect. Yeah, it's a perfect. So I'm just going to hit save, and then get rid of that. I'm going to try this now. And this time it's going to be a video. The 1080p, something like that, wide. Which one was it? The 0. One. Yeah, that's the one. Let's see if that works. What the? What's going on here? I don't know what's going on. This is I don't understand what's going on. Could it be because I'm using the... Okay, I don't know what's going on. That normally does work, and it creates a middle section. I just don't know why it's being a pain in the butt today. I literally just did it yesterday. It did work, and the command is correct. The only thing I can think of is maybe trying to... Let's see, I'll put the time here instead. So 175 564, then -I. Did that work? You gotta be kidding me. That actually worked? I'm gonna be blown away if that actually worked. Let's see. Where's my middle part here? Holy, did it really work? It's still small. Let me see. No, I don't think it worked. Yeah, nothing worked. What did it do? Okay, this thing is so weird. But anyway, so I don't know why it's being a pain, but that's normally the command you use to the start frame to the end frame, and it will cut the middle part out. I don't know why. I don't, maybe because I'm using the CPU for some things. I don't know, but that's the command you use. And then to combine them all, what you do is I'll show you the concat file here, concat list. Open up in the text editor. So this is the command you usually have. You get the file name, and then the middle name, and then obviously the end. And then what you do is you go back to the command line and you just type FFmpeg space -f concat space -safe 0 -I, and then a concat underscore list or whatever name you use, and then /c copy, and then output.mp4, and that will join everything together. It'll take like less than a minute, so that's way faster than waiting for everything to render from oh, wait a minute. Could it be that it didn't work because this was going on? Okay, the fan just maybe this was going on. That could probably be the problem. Let's try that. I'll laugh my head off if that was the issue. So which one was it? This the one. Oops, no. This is just not the. Where's the one of those copies? Oh, because I copied over. Yeah, that's so this should be input dot what? Oh, this is 2. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Yes. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. So something must have happened with Blender, or what's the other one? I guess. But it's the same thing. I literally did this yesterday and it worked. Anyways, I don't know. So that's a command, and you have one file and it's much faster. Alright, so that was a pain in the what? Okay, so so you guys did learn a couple of things here. I've explained the best settings to get a small file. Obviously, H.265 is pretty, is a compact, highly compressed. Unfortunately, not all the platforms do support it, so we still need to do H.264. So you need to find tricks to make them as small as possible. Obviously, you can lower the bit rate. That's one way to do it, but be careful. Make sure you test it because the quality might also drop as well. So with that said, I am going to end that part of the tutorial, and I want to show you I think down here we should have yeah. So I'm gonna promote 2 of my resources. I do have one of them is I use SpaceX Starlink. Right now I'm actually live streaming on BitChute, Rumble, Odysee and YouTube. I'm using SpaceX residential service, and because I live in a rural area, so the service here is not very good. I'm talking about the local so-called, there's not even a local service here. That's also including cellular. So with the SpaceX Starlink, I'm able to obviously get high-speed internet, and I also use it on my phone with Wi-Fi calling, so I can call, text, and receive and send SMS and MMS. So it's been wonderful for me here. I can work, I can do video conferencing. I don't game, so I'm not sure, but Elon Musk claims that he's able to game using your SpaceX Starlink. So that's there. But I'm saying I'm pretty happy. I do upload, as I said, like before. Before I switched to H.265, I had like several gigabytes of data video, and I had to upload them to say Odysee, Rumble, BitChute, and Spotify. So you can imagine, I said the internet has been wonderful for me, and I said so same with the Wi-Fi. So I do have a referral link. You can go to Jambo.com, click any article, and right at the end of each article there will be the recommended resources. In this case, it's the SpaceX Starlink residential service. So what happens is, if you do purchase the service, I'll get 1 month free. So that's one way you can support me, and you also get a discount. Now the discount will depend on the discount and its duration will depend on your geographical location, but you definitely do get a discount. And also the other thing I'm going to promote this month, I've been promoting this month, sorry, is this one. It's my book. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent. It's about a scientist. You see my name there, Edward Jambo. I'm not the scientist, but that's my name, the author. It's about a scientist who creates an AI, and he loses his mind. So not only does he have to regain control of his mind, but also regain control of the AI system. So as you can see, this is the back. This is the paperback version. You can see there, it's a real, there we go, so the pages in there. And there's also an ebook version. So the ebook version is free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So don't miss out. If you do have Kindle Unlimited, go check it out and give me some feedback. So I made this one as affordable as possible. It's basically just at cost. So let me know what you think, good or bad. I want to improve. Obviously, I also have like programming books, as you can see in my bio here, and the link will take you to the bookshop on Amazon as well. They are paperback and ebook versions. All the ebook versions are free if you have Kindle Unlimited. And if you need support, you can contact me at jamboservices.com. Then if you want to learn, I have online courses at jamboshop.com, JavaScript, PHP, and Python. And one of my books on Amazon is the Blender Python API. So not only is for 3D modeling, it's also for video editing. As you saw, this is why I picked this particular random article today, how to extract the VSE markers. So now with that said, I am checking the live chat on YouTube. There's no chat there. I'm going to check BitChute. There's no chat there. Rumble, there's no. Oh, someday in. Okay, I have a chat request in Rumble, so I'm going to reply from Vikings. GG, thanks, man. And I'm going to check Odysee. There's no chat there. So with that said, I'm just going to conclude this chat, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Thanks. Oh, be sure to subscribe if you haven't, because that really helps out the channel, and it also helps other people find it. The more people subscribe, other people can find this content. And this particular content for today was just my own thing, but I do take requests and I do honor them. For example, the stuff we're doing tomorrow and the next day after that was requested by a subscriber. So you don't have to be a subscriber, just let me know. If you're a viewer, that's good enough. I do honor those requests. I'm always happy to help people who are learning. Okay, to subscribe if you haven't. And thanks for joining the live stream and live Okay, so I'm sending this out to Vikings. Live stream and live chat. Okay, so hit there. What does have a subscribe button? Am I supposed to subscribe to them or not? Okay, okay, well, okay, that's it, guys. Bye now. Good night.